Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got Kim Willis from 1717, Breathwork practitioner. Breathwork practitioner. Have I just made that up?
No, you've not.
That's legit, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
People like to say breathwork coach, facilitator, but I do prefer practitioner.
Where have I got practitioner from? It sounds really posh for me.
Yeah, probably from me.
Yeah, probably. I don't think so, Kim.
Giving posh vibes today.
Shall we go back to it?
Yes.
Shall we get to it?
Yeah, go for it.
What we were about to talk about before, about
1717.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, I opened today. Got my opening event today from 4:00. And I've been paying rent on the place since February. So when I started that, like, my aim was to get in like March, then in April, but things happened and it changed. And my family, to be fair, like my mum and dad were like, oh, when are you going to get in? And I think everybody was thinking the same, like I was just going to go in, do a paint job on it. Like the place where it is, the sign came down yesterday for the new one to go in. That sign's been up there for about 20 years and it's been other things in the meantime and nobody's ever changed the sign. So now looking at it, and when I came to see you that day and when we talked, I couldn't have done it any other way. Like, I looked at it last night, we came out and I looked into the room and down and outside and I was like, this looks like a business now. It doesn't just look like I walked in, painted the walls and I'm jumping in there. Like, it's everything. It's more than I ever could have dreamed of. Like, it's made me feel so proud of, like, as a family as well, what we've achieved. Like, my husband, like, I haven't been in there that much because I've been working from home, doing a lot of the online stuff, and he has been there all the time. So I don't have much vision in terms of, when I saw what you guys had done, I was like, I absolutely love it. But when I look at it, I think, how is that ever going to happen? So to keep going in, and he's done the little bits, it's just been amazing. Obviously it's difficult creating something together, but originally he was never going to be part of it. It was mine, and now it's like ours, and he is obsessed with it. And it's been like a real bonding thing. Like, my son came in last night, my son's 16, don't really speak that much, and he's like, do you like it? He's like, which means, I was like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I said, like, you're young, like, would your mates think it were cool? He's like, So I'm like, I know that we've created something that just isn't out there anywhere else. I know that it isn't. And I know as soon as people walk in, they will know if it's them or they'll know if it's not. And that's exactly what I want. Because I want it to be open to absolutely everybody, but I also want the people there who get who we are. That's the reason for the open event tonight.
Just tell people what 1717 is, mate, and
so
what you're actually going to be doing there.
So essentially, my tagline is wellness without the woo. And that isn't because I have an issue with the woo. I truly don't. Like, I love it. Like, I enjoy being a part of people doing things. I am open to absolutely everything. However, I think with a lot of people, that is so far out of reach that they fear that they're going to open something or they're going to go somewhere that they can't come back from. So it puts people off. There's this imagery of, like, breath work and the things that I do being so out there that you've got to be like a hippie, or you've got to look a certain way or dress a certain way. So my whole aim with the studio, with everything that I do, is to change the narrative around that. So to really push breath work, meditation, like there's a lady doing yoga, all the stuff that I do, to be mainstream. So everybody is really concerned about looking after the physical health, well, most people are, but not many people realise we're still treating the brain and the body separate. Like, the emotional health is so important. And that came to me through, in 2018, I had a full breakdown. And I became so obsessed with getting my head right that I forgot I had a body. So then when my head became right, I looked in the mirror and I hated who I'd become physically. So the two didn't marry up. Like, mentally, I felt strong. Physically, I'd always trained, but physically I felt weak. I felt awful. And what I had to do is accept that. Acceptance. So people talk a lot about forgiveness and talk about how I don't believe in forgiveness. I do, but I think before forgiveness has to come acceptance for yourself and for other people. That's all I'm aiming for at the moment. Acceptance of myself, acceptance of my circumstances, and my main thing is 1717 represents authenticity.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Vulnerability. Like, I used to think vulnerability was weak. Now I think my vulnerability and my capability to be able to be open about anything in my life gives other people permission to be the same. Like, I have carried in my life a hell of a lot of shame. Like, a hell of a lot of shame. And I don't carry that anymore. And that might sound quite, what's the right word? Some people may not understand that, because I have done bad things. And when I say bad things, I wasn't well at the time that I'd done these things, but I made attempts on my life. I self-harmed, and I did that at times in front of my children, who at the time would be like 10 and 12. And when I look back on that now, at the time, I was in the biggest cycle of shame. But then I've had to accept that that is what happened, and I've had to sit with it and be like, okay, if I continue to feel shame about this, am I going to keep running from it? Or do I accept what I've done and sit with my kids and face it so that they are able to converse with me about what happened? If I sit in that shame cycle, I'm doing nobody any good. I'm still running. So now I'm able to talk to my kids. And when I say I haven't tried to end my life in front of my kids, but self-harm, I've got epilepsy. So I got this is when everything sort of fell down for me. Like 8 years ago, I fell on a night out, banged my head, and was diagnosed with epilepsy after that. So you can have a thing called post-ictal psychosis. So the times that those things happened, it was when I'd gone into a seizure, and you come round and you don't know what's going on. You don't know where you are. Like, I'm not aware of it. I don't remember doing any of those things. And that is the key to where I started to learn breathwork, because I did a breathwork session and I had this vision of me smashing a plate into my face. And I was like, bloody hell, that's weird. And I went home and I said to the kids, I had this like thing where I'd smash this plate in my face, and they're like, yeah, you did.
So just bringing suppressed.
So I lose portions of my life sometimes if I've had seizures. I accept that now, though. Couldn't at the time. That's what led to my breakdown, because it was like, you know, you've got to change your life. Everything's got to change. So your friends, I've got amazing friends, like true friends from all my life, but people fall away because you can't go out. You can't, you know, I was only 32. Like, you can't go out, you can't do the things that other people do. I couldn't accept that. I couldn't accept that my life needed to change. So I'd still drink, like, I'd still go out, still think I could keep up with other people. And that's what led me to this, like, my work situation at the time. I would be in hospital, and I remember being in hospital once because I had seizures, and come round in the morning, I was like, oh my God, what time is it? And they were like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. I was like, I've got to go, get to work. They were like, you can't go to work. I was like, no, I've got a meeting. They were like, you've got aspiration pneumonia, because when you seize, like, you can breathe funny. Well, you do breathe funny, and stuff goes down the wrong way. It goes into your lungs, basically. Anyway, I left, went to work, sat in this meeting, because I always felt like I would have been letting people down the whole time. Like, I never put myself first until I got to the point where I completely broke down, and I had to accept that I couldn't live my life the way that I was living it. But now, and this isn't just something that I say because it sounds good, I'm grateful for the fact that that happened to me, because I would not be where I am now without that happening. I'd still be living the mediocre life, going to work. Like, I enjoyed my job, but going to work, going home, being stressed, like, just living a mediocre life. And now I live my life on my terms, and I've taught my kids to also do the same. Like, I homeschooled my kids, and I always said the only thing I want is for them to not grow up to be knobheads. and they're not. Like, the good, grounded, decent kids, like, they know their boundaries, they know things a lot different to what I knew at that age. Like, I've always been a massive people pleaser. Like, always bent and moulded into places that I shouldn't be, and then I'd get to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. That's when you break, isn't it? Like, now, being in the studio, because we've been in there like the last couple of weeks doing stuff, and people are coming in asking what it's about, like the confidence that I feel, because I can literally just be me. I don't have to talk a way that anybody else expects me to talk. I don't have to talk in a way that makes other people feel comfortable, because I've never felt more comfortable in who I am than I do right now, which is a massive statement, because I'm 41 actually on Monday. And I thought for the past few years I'd been comfortable in who I was, but this last, I'd say since Christmas, I've had the biggest growth I've ever had in my life. And it's through pain. It's through feeling pain. It's through feeling worry. And pain is a motivator for me, because I will never let myself go down like I did before. So I feel the pain. Sometimes I think I attract the pain because I feel the pain. It's the motivator, and it helps me to achieve. I get things done in that way. Like, you'll know, in like May, I nearly gave everything up. Yeah. And that night I was sat there thinking, but you've always got, this is what I work with breathwork, the inner critic. So you've got your inner critic, but you've also got that inner voice, because the inner voice that's championing you, the one that's like, you can do this. Because if we didn't have that, we'd never get anywhere. Like, people would just be giving up left, right and centre. And that little voice that night was stronger than the one that was saying you can't. Plus Mick was like, you can. And I made that decision that night and just been tunnel vision ever since. And you're like, the growth is just huge.
Yeah. I've got to give a massive shout out to Mick, mate.
Yeah, he's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is. Like, Mick has carried me, like, and not in a, I can't, when I was ill, like, Mick didn't get it at first. And then, not with epilepsy, when I had the breakdown, I had the crisis team coming out every day. And when he sat with them and he sat with me and he listened, that's when he really started to understand, because you don't understand. No. You people talk about people being depressed or people being down or people being suicidal, and there's the whole narrative, isn't there, of, you know, always ring somebody. But when you're in that place, you will never ring anybody. You just won't. Like, I would hide in the bathroom with razor blades and be cutting myself, and I would go to sleep with them under my pillow, because I knew that he would try and stop me. But sometimes there is an element, I think, of hiding in the bathroom. I knew he would find me. So there's always that element, do you know what I mean? I don't ever think I intentionally wanted to take my life, but there was a major part of me that I wanted to die. But it was a part of me that I still hadn't accepted. Whereas now I accept all parts of me. I thought, and this is one thing that I am really, really keen on. So I've got like 300 facilitators training under me in breathwork. And when I go on and do Zooms, they're like, oh, I'll talk, and I'm very open the way I am now. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you feel like that. Like, I can't believe you have them worries. And I'm like, everybody has them. The people that say they don't, it's not true. Everybody has those worries. So if more people turn up more authentically and said, yes, I've got this business, I'm doing whatever, but I still have these doubts, people wouldn't feel so alone in the thoughts. We look at the next person and they're not talking about how they feel. So we're like, oh, they're all right. And why? So they're doing all right on this healing journey. But, you know, I've got to this point and then I've gone back. It's completely normal, because we're still having a human experience. And for me, breathwork isn't like, I will say to people, breathwork will not fix your life, but it's a tool. So the aim is to feel a range of emotions. I don't use breathwork. Like, when I've been going through the toughest time the last couple of months, I haven't done breathwork. I've sat with the feeling. That's the only reason, that's the only way I've grown from it. I've sat with it, I've accepted what it is, sat with it, felt it, gone through all the motions. I haven't bypassed it. These tools are amazing, but they're not there to stop us from feeling. And if they are, if that's what we're using them for, then we're not using them correctly. We're bypassing. We're just we're still suppressing actually what's going on. Because if, say, for example, I think, how can I explain it? If I've got a bad feeling and I do something that like makes me feel better, have I actually dealt with that feeling, or have I just hidden from the feeling? So now I always sit with something first, process it, then I'll do the breathwork, because it's just amazing to do. Like, it's a good feeling, but I don't avoid feelings. I think a lot of people are avoiding feeling and calling it healing. And that's their journey. Like, I've no thing to do with it if that's making people feel better, but are they still suppressing these things? And in years to come, they'll still be insecure, needing validation from other people. I always needed that. Always needed validation. Now, I don't. Like, I am my own validation. I realise that I would say to people all the time, are you proud of me? I say it to Mick all the time, are you proud of me? He'd be like, yeah, I'm really proud of you. Like, I needed to hear that. I don't think I've ever felt like anyone's been proud of me. And not because I've had a great upbringing, like my mum and dad, great.
I get that, mate.
But I never felt... So if I watch the X Factor, or I watch like Britain's Got Talent, or The Voice, or whatever, and I see the parents crying because they're proud of the kids, I cry. Like, I can't... There's something in seeing someone's face when they're proud of something that really brings up emotion for me. I know my parents are proud of me, but I never felt like they were. But because I've always been, this is the paradox of me, I've always been independent, but really I've always needed people, if that makes sense.
And connection.
Yeah. And that is what I'm trying to create with 1717, is connection for people. So many people are lonely. Sorry.
So I get that, mate. You know, that's what 1717 is all about, isn't it? That connection, bringing people together, and everybody's got your own shit going on. Yeah. Let's work it out together. And,
exactly.
You know, that's what I love about breathwork so much, mate. I mean, I'll give you a massive shout out. That breathwork session I did with you up at Onset, it was and that lady.
Oh wow, yeah.
Just like wow.
I know.
Won't get into what happened with it, but I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. What a shift.
Yeah.
She'd been carrying that for
50, 60 years?
60 years. Yeah. And that breathwork has brought it up, and now she can sit with it and go through it. And
they come to everyone that I do, and when they first came, I thought, oh God, they're not going to like it, because my music's a little bit different. It's not like softly. My music represents who I am, so that's what I love about breathwork as well. I'll go back into that in a minute, but they said this has opened up a whole new world for me. And when they came in, I thought, oh, they're not going to enjoy it. They absolutely love it. But that's the other thing as well with the...
Well, that's what you're saying. It's just like wellness without the woo. If it was woo, then ladies wouldn't have come. No. And they're the ones that need it the most.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. The people who are the ones who think they don't need it are the ones who probably need it the most. And for me, a lot of people, they do worry, what if I open like this Pandora's box? And one thing that I will say to people is, when we think that we're locking things in because we're scared to let it out, all we're really doing is keeping it, we're not locking anything in, we're locking out joy. So the aim of life for me, is to feel joy. Yeah. Like, my aim isn't to be on a healing journey my whole life. It's to be in stages of healing. But in the middle, what am I healing for if I don't have the periods in between where I can be freaking laughing my head off? If I can be making a joke about myself, if I can be enjoying the life that I'm living, what am I healing for? Just to say, oh, I'm on a healing journey. Just to say, oh, I'm really deep. You know, no. Like, I want to enjoy the moments while they're here, because I'm going to shout out somebody now at my PT. He said to me a few months ago, because when everything went bad, I did a post actually. So you, my husband, my dad, my brother and Aaron, my PT, were the people who kept me the most grounded, who were like, no, this is who you are. This is what you need to do. Other people on the last few months have faded away, and now I accept, all right, that needed to happen. But at that time, and men I think get a lot of stick, but it was the men in my life who really made me realise, keep going, like, don't stop. I don't know where I was going with that then. I think I've been doing all right, 'cause that's the first time I've said
I know,
that.
I know you do this, but it's this is what we're saying. What 1717 is about, like connecting people and supporting each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, that moment we had that little bit of a wobble and you came here, me and you had a little bit of a chat. It was everything to me.
Yes.
Because I've been there and no one's chatted with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, that's not me to Kim.
Yeah,
no chance.
Oh, no, I love that. And I think you said to me, like, one of my things now is power over performance. And I think that wellness without the woo is that as well. Like, there's some people who just naturally embody spiritualism and that's who they are. They embody it. Love that. But if you're going to come to me with a performance of that, I can see through it. And it doesn't align with who I am. Like, this is what I mean about, I don't want to cut anyone off who is really overly spiritual. But I think even the word spiritual, there's connotations to it, because for me, everybody's spiritual. Like, we have to be, like, we're human. Yeah. But I think, for me, the most spiritual thing you can do is be real, be who you say you are, be kind to the next person, and just be the best version of yourself that you can be. And I think as long as you are going with them core belief, them core values, that makes you a spiritual person, because you're not out to do the next person harm. You're not out to not look after the fellow person. Like, that is what true spirituality, I couldn't even think of the word, is for me. And the people who naturally embody that, you can feel them a mile off. Yeah. Power over performance, that's what you said to me. Or power over force. And I have started to I'm going to say this, I don't know if it sounds big-headed, but I have started to believe that I do hold power, like, naturally in a
Why do you think it sounds big-headed?
I don't know, I think because you don't really hear people saying stuff like that. I don't know if I'm just saying, actually. I think it sounds big-headed, because I don't think it actually does. I think I'm just saying that to probably make myself more palatable.
I think for me, it's got such weird connotations. The word power is like, oh, these are the people in power, but it doesn't actually mean that. Then people in power are actually in force.
Yes.
They force me to do stuff. What pure power is for me is moving into the heart space and intuition and talking and losing track of thought, because you're just in that present moment.
100%.
That's what pure power is for me.
And that, like, breathwork, I was so disconnected from my body because I didn't trust my body. Hated it because I felt like it let me down. Like, I was having seizures. Like, when it was bad, before they put me on medication and stuff, I would be having like 50, 60, 70 seizures a week. I had no control over it. Now, it's not the same because I've learned to understand my own body, but I had totally disconnected from my intuition. Yeah. So I would go to things, and this has only just come, like, really prominent to me now. I would go to things and I would be there and think, oh, I don't belong here. And I'd be staying over in a hotel. And every single time, the first night, I would ring Mick and I would cry, I want to come home. And he'd be like, fine, you're only away like 2 days. And I'd be like, no, I want to come home, I hate it. And I thought there was something wrong with me. The whole time my body was saying, this is not where you belong. It isn't where you belong. But I was like, no, there's something wrong with me, I'm soft. I've always been like this, you're soft. And now I understand. Like, my body was saying, no, you don't fit yourself into this box, but I still tried. But I had to try. I am grateful for every experience I've gone through to now. 100%, because
when you're in your power, it's just effortless.
Yeah.
You don't even have to try.
Yeah, like when people come into the studio and they're talking, like Mick's like, you're going to have to teach me what I tell them about such a thing. I'm like, you'll learn it as you go. He said, because when people talk to you, he says, you just know it. I've never felt as confident in a place in my life. Yeah. Like when people come in and I, what am I trying to say? I'm not talking from any sort of...
no logic, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Sometimes, like... upstairs, I'm chatting to people, or I'm in a podcast, and I'm like, I've just asked a question, I'm like, I don't even know where that's come from.
Oh my God, I'm terrible.
If I'm literally in my head, try to analyse and analyse the person and what they're saying, the fucking thing just like, it just...
I do it all the time, I'll be like, so, and then someone will go, what do you say there? And I'm like, I've no idea. And they're like, no, it was really profound. I'm like, man, I have no idea what it was.
That's being in power.
Yeah. I think I said the other day, like, when we're talking about the healing and stuff, like, for me, I've realised I've spent a lot of time working on my mind, and really I needed to be working with my body, because I realised that ultimately feeling is the gateway to healing. And for me, breathwork is the gateway to feeling, which then leads on. Like, I do loads of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm open to absolutely everything. Like, I've got a lady coming doing Reiki at the studio, but she does Reiki to trance music. Never seen it, but I'm really open to it. Like, I'm open to absolutely everything. But I want people who have got skills and they've got passion and they've got things about them and they've nowhere to do it. So I want them to come and use the studio and create that community. And like, loneliness is an epidemic of loneliness. And my whole work since 2020 predominantly has been online. And I think, no, people are really missing that connection now. Like, we need to be around other people. We weren't meant to, which is a paradox in itself, because I'm not really a people person. I used to think that. Now I recognise that actually I love people, but I need time to recharge. But I used to think, I used to think I'm not a people person. Now I know that I just need time alone. I need that time. But I used to hate being alone. I would never be in my house. I would find anywhere to go because I couldn't sit with my own thoughts. Now I'm like, if everyone's gone out, like, this is great. Or like, even I'll just sit there in silence. Like Saturday, because we had a day off from doing stuff in the studio. It was hot, wasn't it? I was in the garden, I was reading. My son was sat there, Mick was sat. I don't think we spoke all day, but we didn't need to. Like, you just know you've got each other and you're there, and there's a real peace in that, being able to sit and not speak and not have to find things to fill the gaps. I used to do that a lot. I still do sometimes. And another thing as well that I used to get told is you mask with humour. And I used to think, oh, you do? Yeah, I do. Then I went really serious. And I'm like, But I love to laugh. Like, that is part of my makeup. Like, I'll go on a Zoom and I'll do something stupid, and people love to laugh as well. But I stopped that part of me because people were telling me I was masking. And I'm like, no, I'm not. That's who I am. This is what I'm doing this for. So I can enjoy those moments of laughter and not feel guilty for it. Like, not be like, oh, am I being real? I am 100% real now all the time. And I would challenge anybody to ask me something that I wouldn't tell them the truth on. And I've realised that a lot of the people around me, up until recently, couldn't do the same. But I was trying to fit into their box instead of just thinking, oh, that's what I was saying about my PT before. He said to me, you're only here once. I was like, no, I know. And he was like, no, I don't think you do know, because you're acting like you're going to get another go. And I was like, fucking hell, yeah, you're right. Like, this is it. Like, I'm never going to get another go at doing this. And that's why now, just full steam ahead for my goals. But also, I'm not just totally goal orientated. My only goal is to do something that I love, laugh, be happy, and just have a nice life, make memories with my family. I'm like, the kids will come on holiday with us forever, Mick. He's like, fuck that. No, they won't. I'm like, I'm really close to my parents. I'm a brother and sister. And yeah, I don't know. They're my only goals. Like, if you could make a shitload of money, great. But if I don't, I just want to be happy. Like, that's it.
You know, when you talk about forgiveness, what is forgiveness?
So there's I don't really know. So there's two parts to it for me. So I can forgive. This is another thing. I became so conditioned to being sort of trauma informed and looking underneath everyone's behaviour that I actually forgave everything. I forgave too much. Does that make sense? So I can watch, or I used to be able to watch, like, this is a classic, and I'm going to say it, but it's absolute classic. I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, you know, Monsters, the drama one. I ended up feeling sorry for him because of his past. And I'm like, he's an absolute psychopath killer, like murderer. But my brain was so conditioned to look under that behaviour. Why is that? Yes, great to an extent. I do that with everything. But I was doing it to the point where I couldn't differentiate between what is completely wrong and being treated and what is right. Does that make sense? So I would forgive everything. I would keep letting people do the same thing to me. Then I started thinking, actually, no, I was full of rage, like so full of rage. And I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. But so angry I thought, I don't want to forgive anyone ever. Now I realise that forgiveness for me is actually, I don't need to openly forgive that person. I'll say to them, oh, I forgive you. Like, you know, let it go. I just need to forgive myself. This is what I think. Forgive myself for letting myself get into these situations. Forgive myself for not knowing better than to be treated like that. And then to just let it go. Like, I don't hold on to things. I don't resent people. Like, I don't. But also, I have a bit of an issue with forgiveness in terms of, I genuinely think that a lot of people who are overly concerned with forgiveness are people who have done people wrong, and they need to say, oh, forgiveness is massive, you have to do it, because they have to believe that themselves, that they're forgiven. And I genuinely think I think it comes from like God fearing, you know, like you can do whatever you want, but if you say forgive me to God, he'll forgive you and you'll be all right. I genuinely believe there's a part of it connected to that. Like, I would never ask my children to forgive me for what I've done. Never.
But you ask them to let it go.
I just let them do what they need to do with it. Like, I would encourage them to let it go. I would encourage them to talk to me. But I would never force forgiveness on my kids. If they get older and think, I can't forgive her for doing that, I have to accept that.
I don't think they need to forgive you, do they? But hopefully they can let it go what happened.
Yeah, 100%.
I got really confused with the forgiveness me at one point, where I felt like, I don't know if someone told me that I just need to forgive all the people that, I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right, that. I need to just let it go. Like you said, forgive yourself for getting in that situation.
Yeah.
And then just let it go.
There's such an emphasis on forgiveness. And like, obviously, if the world was perfect, we would all forgive and we could move on and we'd all be living on these higher planes and everything would be amazing. But there's such emphasis on it that when you can't do it, another way of making you feel like you're a failure. Because you can't forgive that person, so why can't I forgive and they can? So that spiritually, energetically, they're better than me.
So here's
because
one
I
thing
can't
then.
do that.
So you've still got that person on Instagram that's done you wrong, felt like
Yes.
you've done the wrong, and you've let it go. Do you unfollow them or do you carry on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So this has cropped up for me recently,
Right.
and I was unfollowed. So I was like, okay, so I'll just unfollow.
Yeah.
But I do still see these people. Right. And when I do, I naturally smile. Right. I naturally do, because I'll see them talk about things. And these are people
But is that
like...
not petty, you unfollowing because they've unfollowed you?
A little bit, yeah. But then I thought, you get into that whole thing of... Instagram is a frigging nightmare. So you'll get into this whole thing of, oh, I can see you watching my stories, but you don't say anything, like, as though I'm watching because I'm jealous, and I'm truly not. Like, I want everybody who I've known, whether they've done me wrong or whatever, or whether they think I've done them wrong, because let's be honest, people will do. I genuinely just want people to do well. Like, I would have done a long time ago. I would have held a lot of resentment and a lot of anger, but now I'm just like, I do accept that people are on different journeys, and I accept that people have different insecurities, people have different doubts. I'm just more open with mine. So I will say, actually, I feel like you've been funny with me today. Like, is everything all right? Other people won't do that, but they project it onto me. Yeah. So because I'm so open, because I'm so like, I expected everyone else to be the same. Yeah. Now I've had to accept, not everyone's like that. But it's not going to stop me being like that. I'm not going to become like this hard, tough person, because I'm just not that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense, mate.
Yeah.
I think the most powerful thing you do is communication.
Yeah.
And if someone's got a problem, let's get to it.
Oh yeah, I have to, mate.
What's going on? But some people can't do that.
Oh God, I can get to
confrontation.
I'm not actually a stalker, but I would stalk somebody, as in phone and message them till they spoke to me. Because I can't stand, especially when it's been a miscommunication. So you just said pester, not stalk. I don't want you to. I don't want you to come across as a stalker. No, I'm not a stalker.
So you just pester people.
Yeah, do you get what I mean? Like, say my friend fell out with me, I would keep ringing and ringing to be like, no, this is not right. Like, I used to be like that. Now I'm like, I understand that that's their shit and not actually my shit. But I would internalise everything to make it about me. Where have I gone wrong? What have I done? Like, and I think you need to do that in any scenario. Like when the scenarios I've been in, there's always been a part of me that's allowed that to happen. I'm not some weak, like, do you know, I think sometimes people pleasing, it's not a form of manipulation because it's not, but you are manipulating how someone sees you so that you can be liked. So I have to take ownership of that.
Yeah, it's a bad on people pleasing.
Yeah, terrible. And I think I've done it all my life, whereas now I'll still people please don't know what the word is. If somebody says something to me, I'm never going to be one of these, I'll just say it is me. I don't give a shit. That is not me. Like, I will people please in the sense to help someone feel better. But I won't people please at my expense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have time for people who are like, I'm not being funny, but I'm just saying it as it is. You are being funny. You just put in a nice few words at the beginning of it. So yeah, I don't people please to my own expense anymore. Which I used to tie myself up in knots. Like, I internalised everything. Made everything about me.
Just everything was up here.
Oh, God. Yeah, like, even now, like, I do breathwork because I am in my head a hell of a lot. Like, it's funny because the men in my life all say one thing to me: stop fucking thinking. And I'm like, yeah, well, they all say it because I can take a scenario, like someone might send a message and it feels a bit different, or a code, I'm not so bad anymore, and I've created a whole thing in my mind. But that comes from certain environments where I've been in, where I have been around narcissistic people who I didn't know where the land lay, and that's what led to my breakdown as well as the epilepsy. Like, you question your own reality, like, you're made to doubt who you are, and that is really weird. And it's happened to me a couple of times now, and now I've had to think, okay, so what is it about me that is attracting this? And I know that I'm a massive empath, okay, but I also know that I have bent to what people want.
Yeah, easy pickings.
Yeah, but I don't think that these people who do it also, I don't think that they're coming from a place where they're really awful people. I genuinely believe that it's their insecurities, but some people are just bad, do you know what I mean? But I don't think the people in my life who I've had these dealings with, I don't believe they're bad people.
No, I get it. I think if people haven't got boundaries up, these, people just take advantage of that. They don't mean to. They just kind of know that,
But then it sort of gets changed. Oh God, I'm gonna bloody nightmare. It gets changed sort of that. It's hard when you're dealing with people like that. Like, oh, I gave you everything, did everything for you. You took advantage of me, and I'm like, no, I was just your friend. Like, if you're giving me something, or if we're doing something together, or whatever it is, I see that as a friendship. But then when that sort of relationship ends and it's, oh, you took everything off me, you used me, like, I can't understand that sort of logic from a friend if we were ever friends. And now I realise that a lot of these people were never friends. And I think this is how I've come to accept who I am, because I realise that these people, I loved being around them, but all they were doing was mirroring back to me who I was. So I think, hey, I'm actually all right. Does that make sense?
Yep, perfect.
So people would say things to me about people, I'd be like, oh, I've never seen, are you sure? They're not just joking? And then I realised that I never saw the other side, I only saw the jokey side, which is who I am, like jokey, like having a laugh. But I can go from joking to serious in about 2 seconds. And I think humour helps people bring things up because it lets the guard down, and then you can go into like the more serious stuff. And I think, definitely people mirrored back to me who I was. And I think, I'm actually all right. Because they were all right. So if that's me, I'm all right.
Tell people where 1717's come from.
Well, essentially from a meeting here, wasn't it? So we were like looking at names, and you said to me, I mean, this is the other paradox, like 1717 is an angel number. So like I say, I'm into this kind of stuff, and you said to me, is there a number? And I was like, no, the only number really that I ever see, because it's unusual, because you see 1111 all the time and stuff, don't you?
That wasn't me who asked you that question.
Oh, was it not?
This is what I'm saying to you. Like, I'm in the thing. Why the fuck would I ask
get you, right,
what's your number?
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he came there and was just like, ask her what a number is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I feel like it's going to be a brand name.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
And then I said, and my daughter sees it as well, I was like 1717. And then when we looked at like what that represented, it was just like, you said, you've got your name. And
trust
I was
your
like,
intuition, trusting your
yeah.
gut.
And like nobody, you know, what's really weird, nobody questions what it means. And when they do, I'm like, yeah, this is what it represents. But it's as though it was just always meant to be. It's like people understand it before they even...
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like... I thought people were going to be like, why is it called that? Nobody is. Everyone's like, so what does 1717 represent? So then I tell them, or they just don't ask because they get it.
You already know.
Yeah, and it's just...
I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've trusted my intuition to come to you.
Yes, yeah. And I've had two guys working on the shop the past couple of days. A young lad he's an apprentice, he must have been 16, and they were doing the signage and stuff, and they were like, the more I was talking to them, they were like, oh yeah, I'd love it in here, like, cause they're obviously putting it all up and saying how good it looks and stuff, and like, he's 16, this young lad, and he's proper asking me about like what 1717 is, and I'm telling him, and he's like, yeah, but I could tell he wasn't used to someone like me, because I think I just had my gym stuff on. He wasn't used to someone like me talking normally about something like that. You could see that he'd always been put off by sort of this image of what spiritual people are. Yeah. Like some spiritual people are like that, and I love it for them. Do you know?
Wendy.
Yeah, I love it. Do you know what I mean? Like I know loads of people like who are really, really like that. Like I shouldn't have been on it. I was on a retreat last year, and it's on again this week, but I couldn't go, so I went and did the breathwork down there in Essex and stayed last year. And Claire, the lady who runs that, like I would say she's a natural shaman. Like she just embodies it, but she's just like me. She's Essex, but obviously I'm not Essex, but she's just embodies it. It's natural. It's just who she is, and I absolutely love that. Whereas when I think I can just see through the masks of people now, and understand when it's real and when it's lived, or when it's convenient. Yeah, and when it's convenient, because I genuinely don't believe, I think we all go through a certain stage, like when I first started on the healing journey, so to speak, I went through stages of thinking, oh yeah, I'm really spiritual here because I do certain things. But I think you evolve past that. I think when you get to a point where you're totally at peace, you don't need to do any of that performing. So I think the people where that's still going on and it is a performance, it's evident that they're just bypassing because they're still in that stage of experimenting. Once you come through that, you're at peace with who you are. And if you still do that and you embody it, great. Yeah. But if it's still coming across the performance, then for me, that's all it is.
Yeah, I get like doing through the work and stuff like I get longer bouts of peace now. It's impossible to be peaceful all the time. You'd have to be in a fucking cave in fucking Tibet.
Yeah.
You get these longer bouts of peace, longer bouts of bliss.
100%. So I always say this, like my baseline with breathwork now is more like here, whereas it used to be like this. Whereas now it'll be here and I might go like this and then I'll come back up, or I'll be like woo and then I'll come back down. I'll be at baseline again. But I used to spend, I'm not even joking. So when I was ill, I would spend months in my bedroom, and the only place I would go is to the bathroom. I didn't go downstairs in my own house for a couple of months. Like, how weird is that? Not weird, but how mad is that? Because I just couldn't, I was that low. And I think as well, like, you genuinely, like, you know when people say, oh, I feel like a burden? Like, that isn't just something people say. Like, you genuinely do feel like a burden. Like, I genuinely, and I say this hand on my heart, because of what my kids were seeing me go through, genuinely thought that it would be easier for them if I wasn't there, if they didn't have to see it. Now I look back on that and think how mad that I would have thought that. But in those moments, I didn't have that ability to actually think about it. I genuinely thought it. It wasn't just, oh, do you think they would be? No, would they heck? I genuinely thought it. And no matter what anybody said to me, I would think, well, you're just saying that because you don't want to deal with it. And that's how real it was. Like, and I think what scared me about that is I've always considered myself to be quite a strong person. And when you go from being quite a strong person or perceived strong person, being broken down bit by bit, like in a sort of narcissistic environment, then to be diagnosed as somebody, and my first thought was, well, maybe she'll be a bit nice to me now. My old boss, that was my first thought,
because
like
of
a life-changing diagnosis.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't recognise who I was. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I just saw somebody who was weak. And I'd always been known to be strong, like independent, like I said before. And I just felt like an absolute failure. And now, like, my son, it's not a lot to some people, but for him to just come in, like he rode up on his moped, and he come in, I'm like, do you like it? He's like, I can see it. Like, that means a lot to me. Like, he doesn't need to tell me he's proud, and I don't need him to be proud of me. What I need, I think this is something else as well that people get a bit twisted. This is just my opinion though. Like, we all have this thing that we've got to leave a legacy for our kids, or we've got to do. Do you know what I want my legacy for my kids to be? For them to be happy, to know themselves. I want my kids to be my legacy, not my business, not what I've created so they can say, look what my mum did. I want them to be my legacy. I want them to look at what I've done and understand that no matter where they go wrong in life, as long as they're good people, they'll always find a way through. That's what I want my legacy to be. Not, oh yeah, my mum was a bloody millionaire, she built this, she built that. No, none of that means anything to me. I want my kids to just know themselves and know that no matter what, I've got them. Because there must have been a long period of time where they didn't feel like I had them at all. And like, it's funny because I don't feel emotional. I feel like I might start crying now. I feel emotional in the sense of, why do I feel emotional? So I feel emotional because I could have folded, yeah, I could have completely given up on everything. But something in me has always known I was here to do something with my life and to make a difference to other people. And even if that difference now only ever becomes making a difference to my kids for what I've done, then I'm all right with that. I don't think it will be, but I'm all right with that because I owe them everything. I think people get it a bit twisted that kids owe the parents. I don't believe that. I owe my kids. I decided to bring them into this world. They've stuck by me through everything, but they've had no choice. But my legacy will be, will they continue to sit with me for the rest of my life? Because they've managed to let go of what happened and be okay. So if they're with me on my deathbed, and that will be my legacy. Does that make sense? Yeah. Felt a bit deep, that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was sick, that.
But yeah, I think people get it twisted. Oh, sugar, sorry. I think people do get it twisted. And they think they've got to leave this thing so the kids can be proud of them or leave. Like, I'd love to leave my kids money, you know, don't get me wrong, but
it's not that, mate.
No,
is it?
I want to leave them with
the teaching, the understanding of
yeah.
who you are and like what life really is, you know.
Like my kids, like I homeschooled them. Like Grace is now working in a pub, absolutely loves it. Like her confidence is through the roof. Like she absolutely loves it. Like I don't care what my kids do as long as they're happy. Like she's earning money, she's growing in confidence, she's meeting new people. Like that is all I care about.
Yeah, and they've got love for themselves.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
think
biggest thing for me, just having love for yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
I think most of the time, like people, like when people are forced into doing certain jobs and stuff like that, parents are trying to live their lives again through their kids because it's stuff that they didn't do. What I didn't do was ever be myself. So I suppose I'm doing the same really, but I want to give them the freedom to be who they are, as long as they're not little knobs. And that's them being around me, like through being ill and then me homeschooling them. What they've learned, they've never had to do this sort of competitive, like, I'm not saying, I mean, I don't really know, gang sort of stuff, or try and measure up to the next man or be the same as the next person. They've never done that. They've never needed to. So they've never felt like they have to. Like my son, he is an old soul. Like he teaches me. Grace is a bit more dizzy. Grace is a bit more like me. Like we'll have some mad conversations and just be laughing. But Archie, he's very deep. Like he's definitely been here before, and he'll say like the odd line to me. Do you know what he said to me the other day? He said, "Oh, I can't remember it now." He said, "Don't let perfection." Oh dear, it's going to bug me. He said something like, "Don't let perfection take away how amazing God is." And I was like, no, that's not even it. It was so much more.
So sorry, Archie, if you're listening, I'm so sorry she's butchering your quote,
I know,
mate.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I can't remember what he said. I'm going to have to find it out and I'll let you know and you can maybe put it on the thing. But what he said to me, it was like, I thought, wow, you've got to have been here before. Like, you're 16. Like,
Is that because something was happening with you at the time that he said that to you to
yeah, I think so.
reframe your head?
Yeah, I can't remember what that was either. But he was just chatting, like, he's not a massive talker, but when he talks, he can talk deep. Like, he can have really deep, knowledgeable conversations, and I think you can learn so much from kids. Like, Archie is no holds barred. Like, if I am going out or whatever, I'll say to him, look, all right, yeah, Grace, yeah. Archie will be like, no. Like, he's totally honest. He doesn't do it, like, in a horrible way, but he's the one I'll go to. Because he's not a bullshitter, like he's just as he is. He'll say, yeah, no, whatever it is. But he's definitely, he has been through, I don't want to say he's been through the worst of it with me. Archie was 8 when I got diagnosed. So he went through this whole thing of not wanting to go to school because he didn't want to leave me, because he'd come home and I'd be in hospital because I had seizures and stuff like that. And that is really me having the breakdown. And Archie in COVID was in year 6, so he didn't go to school, and then he started at secondary school and he absolutely hated it. Like he hated it. And I only live like across the road, and they'd be like, can you not just carry him in? I'm like, no. Like, he's like 13, all the kids are walking past, I'm going to carry him into school. And then he kept going in a little bit, and they did some tests on him, you know, like, well, you won't know because you've not actually given birth, but when you go to the doctor 6 weeks after giving birth, they give you this form to fill in, like, how many days out of 5, 7 do you feel like depressed or down or whatever, and you have to tick the boxes. So they gave him a test like that to do, an adult test, based on how he felt going to school. So obviously all his scores were really low. So they called me and they were like, yeah, he's got depression and anxiety, and I was like, on a minute, like, how can you say that? Yeah, like, if you've done this test based on school, but even then I had a fear of authority, so I would be like, oh, yeah, I'll do whatever you say. And then there was one day, and he was really I mean, I'm not going to say what he said to me because it's personal to him, and I thought, what am I doing? Who am I fighting this fight for? Like, I'm fighting it to please the school. They were trying to get him referred to CAMS. I was like, I'm doing this to please them, and my son, he's breaking in front of me. And that day, I just said I'm taking him out, and he is, I can't even tell you the difference in him. He's just a normal young lad, like, really emotionally intelligent, like, not depressed or anxious or any of the things that they said that he was. Yeah, he's just a good, grounded kid. And then Grace, I took Grace out, which is bizarre because Grace was in year 10 and she went back the first day after school holidays and something had happened, so I rung up. During the summer, some lads had climbed over our fence and stuff, and then she was a bit worried about going back into school. And I'd rung up and they were really like, off about it. So I just said, I'm going to be taking her out. And they were like, yeah, all right, it's a shame. That was it. And I thought, wow, like Grace had been a really good student, like no problems. And I just thought, yeah, it's because I'm a bit difficult. I'm not the type now who is like fearing of them and will go, oh yeah, I'll do whatever. They just said, yeah, no worries. Like, see ya. And that was it. But like I say, best thing I've ever done, because they've never had that competition with other kids, as in...
Compare themselves to...
Yeah, they don't mean competition. Like, I think an amount of competition, health competition is good. Like, but I mean, trying to... You see it, don't you? Like, I've done it myself, as in trying to be the tough one in the gang, or trying to be the... Or maybe shrink to not stand out.
Not really you.
Yeah, they've not had to put on those fronts. Yeah. Which, I'm proud of them. I think that's it. I think I'm super proud of them, and hopefully they're proud of me. But equally, if they weren't and they didn't forgive me when they got older, but I think what I've done is allowed, when they get older, we've had the conversation loads of times, like about stuff that's happened, but when they get older, because they will get older and need to work through what's happened, that they'll be able to come to me to say they're doing that. You know, like my mum, like, we all go through trauma as kids, like, or what we would associate as trauma, which is another thing I have a bit of an issue with. I'll come back to that in a minute, but we all have gone through stuff. Whereas my mum is of that narrative, oh, well, I bloody did my best. Do you know what I mean? She never did anything major. Whereas I want to be like, yeah, speak to me. How did it make you feel? And that's what's really important to me. Yeah. And going on to just trauma. So obviously I work with trauma like a lot. It comes up in breathwork and stuff. Sometimes it doesn't. But there's a whole narrative around big trauma and little trauma, which I hate. Like, so people say you've got big T trauma, big T and little T. Yeah.
I've got them all, big T and little T.
Yeah, like, but they're all big T, because it doesn't matter what the event was. What matters is what happened inside of you as a result of that. Yeah. So something that might really affect you might not even knock a stir out of me, but it's created a trauma response in you. So then you're stuck in that. What people don't realise is when something's happened and they think they're playing it down and they're burying it, that's playing out 24/7 within your system. Yeah. So breathwork is trauma, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. No matter, like, obviously there's things that are more, say, acute trauma, like car accidents, like sexual abuse, things that are, but it doesn't. You get people sort of comparing trauma. Yeah. Well, yours wasn't as bad as mine. Well, actually. It doesn't matter if it was just me getting in trouble at school. If I had the same physiological response and feelings in my body as you did to whatever it was for you.
People really need to understand that, don't they?
Yeah, they do, because people do judge people on, well, how's that affected you? Because it wouldn't affect them, or, well, that wasn't as bad as what happened to me. I don't believe in any of that. Like, I think... if something happened to you that hurt you, then find a way for yourself to deal with it, whatever that looks like. For some people, it's the gym. But this is where I want to sort of cross those lines. So there's a massive correlation between people who've endured trauma, who then go on to do endurance sports and things like that, because it's pushing the body. So I love that for them, but I think also a way of releasing it emotionally. Within breathwork or whatever.
Yeah, my relationship with the gym has totally changed since been doing the work on myself.
Because you were using it probably as a punishment.
Yeah, 100%.
To hurt you, hurt yourself. This is the thing. A lot of people are doing that. Yeah. And some people are doing it really healthily. Like, some people just love endurance sports, but there is a huge correlation between the two. I think... And there's a real, like with men as well, like I like to work with men. Because there's a real thing about men don't know how to release emotion. They 100% do, but it just has to be the right environment. Like my friend Josh Connolly is a breathwork facilitator. He will say, you go to a football match, you'll see men expressing emotion all over. Like, if it's cheering, if it's crying, whatever it is, men know how to express emotion. They just need the right environment to do it. And I think the environment that we've created is that environment, because it isn't, come in, you're gonna cry, or I'm like, fucking hell, and it's I feel like between us, we've created that environment for that to feel safe for men to do that. And I think as well, safety is the foundation of all healing.
Yeah.
Without safety, you've got
Agreed.
nothing.
That safe space.
Yeah. And I'm going to
Whoever's
blow my own
holding
trumpet
it,
there.
Yeah, agreed.
That I do hold a safe space, and I think
100%.
that's through being open and being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And sharing sometimes the darkest parts of myself, but most people are hiding from the darkest parts of themselves. Like, I embrace the darkest parts of myself because I have to, because if I'm not, I'm still hiding. I'm still hiding from who I am. Like, yeah, and now I'm like, yeah, I can be fucking annoying when I'm like, are you still my friend? Like, there's something in there I need to work on. But I accept that about myself. I'm not going to be like, no, I don't do that. Like, I do. Sometimes I do need validation. I'll work out where that comes from. But I'll still, say I find out where that comes from, I'll work on it, and in a year's time I need validation of someone. I'm not going to go, oh my God, I've gone 2 years back on my healing journey. I'm going to be like, all right, so why's this come up again? What's this about? And it's about being curious. The whole healing journey is about being curious, not judging yourself, not being like, why is it like this? Curious about anything. Because if you lead with curiosity with anything, you can't sort of judge yourself, because you're just curious as to, okay, why do I feel like this? Why does that happen? What's this about? And ultimately, I keep seeing that up there, peace and love, but peace, love and joy. If that's not what we're doing all of this for, then why are we doing it? And yeah, so that's it.
Peace, love and joy.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
we're opening tonight.
Yes.
When are you putting your first class on?
So, Monday the 28th of July. So I'm doing the opening event tonight because I had to, because of the day, and I've missed a trick. I know, not open at 17:17, but I just thought I'll just do 4 till 7.
Because your actual logic's off, isn't it? So the reason you've not done 7 because of the parking, but really at 4 o'clock there's still no fucking parking. So
No.
There's actually no reason to be
Open at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think I just couldn't wait.
Yeah.
I think I was just too excited, and I thought 4 till 7 sounds like, oh yeah, 4 till 7's good. Do you know what I mean? And then my mum rings me. My mum's away. My mum and dad are both away, which is unfortunate. But my mum rings me last night, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be there for about 3:30. She's like, oh. I'm like, why? She went, well, I'm just a bit worried now. I was like, why? She went, well, I've got something being delivered for you at 2:30. Bless her. So I don't know what it is. So I was like, right, I'll be there at 2:30.
That's cute, isn't
yeah,
it?
It's nice because, like, they're the things now, like, because my mum and dad were like, oh my God, we're not there. Like, they're not together, they're separated, but they're both away. And I'm like, I think probably at one point I would have thought, oh, they're not proud of me, that's why they're not there. I don't have that hang up now. I know that I don't, because I'm like, actually, I don't know actually when I think about that. I feel like I need to do this in my own right without the people there who sort of will definitely make sure I feel all right. I've got to do it in my own right. And
It's tough, that.
yeah, and
It's tough
feel
getting
all
to that.
right.
Yeah, it's tough getting to that.
Yeah, and it's been a eye-opening, really, that I don't feel the need for anyone to be there. I want people to be there. That's one thing Arch said to me. He said, I'm not coming. I was like, why? He was like, well, what if no one turns up? It's embarrassing. I was like, listen, I know there's at least a few. But even that, if no one did, at one point I would have felt like really embarrassed. But now I'm like, I know I have absolutely zero doubts about how that place is going to do, and I didn't from the moment that I came and had the meeting with you.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah.
As soon as I met you, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I have no doubt. The only doubts that I ever had was how I was going to get there.
Yeah.
But that bit's done now. Yeah. I have absolute, like, nothing in my body, like no feeling of like anxiety, no like thinking about opening the doors, saying people coming in, nothing. I'm just totally neutral. I'm excited. Like, I'm not, I just can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm literally like,
trusting the process.
Bring it on, yeah. Like, whatever will be. Just to change the topic, Helen's doing my breathwork training.
Is she?
Yeah. Yeah, she signed up this time, so
I love that lady.
Yeah, she's going to do some Reiki as well for the trainees.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's perfect fit.
Yeah, she's lovely. But yeah, just to change the topic there.
It's not changing the topic. That's
No,
right
yeah.
on point. That's
Yeah.
bringing good fucking kind people together.
Yes,
to spread
and she's
the
going to come and
word.
do some stuff at the studio as well, which is nice. See what I mean? Like, Helen's really woo-woo, but in the most authentic way.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, and I think you can see the people who are like that because they have kindness written in their face. It's not about what they're wearing or
It's a
what.
feeling,
It's
isn't it?
the energy that they bring, like the warmness, like that. Just like you just know good people. Good people know good people is what I believe. And maybe I haven't always known good people, but I think
that's because you didn't know
sometimes I just
yourself.
exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah, been there before. Got a few t-shirts with that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are all learning curves. Like recently I've been like, people say don't everything happens for a reason, and I'd love to feel like that all the time, but I don't. Sometimes now I think, right, yeah, it needed to happen. But when you're in it, you can't see it. When I was in it, I was like, what is the message?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah. And you do go into a little bit of not victim because I
Yeah, it's definitely victim.
do you think? So I have a bit of an issue with like, no, yeah, I
It's
suppose it is.
victim mode.
I
You're
went
saying
into
that.
victim
Yeah,
mode.
you're saying that it's victim
Yeah,
mode.
I think I definitely did. I went into like, how am I going to do this? And why has this had to happen to me?
Fuck me again.
Yes.
Another one.
Yeah, whereas now I'm like, now I see.
Yeah.
Like I thought 2-3 years ago that I had grown a lot, and now I realise, and this is quite hard to say, I was still pretending. I was still pretending up until probably Christmas time. I was actually still playing a role. It's only when I got
forcing it out.
sort of, but like in the environments I was in, I was always who I am like right now.
Yeah.
But when I look, I was quite measured in the things that I would say and talk about because essentially I was representing someone else as well. So I never wanted to, and just to make it really clear, like that person never made me feel like I couldn't be myself. Still, like that person never did that to me. Like I'm not blaming somebody else. I was doing it to me. And now I've accepted that, then I'm like, right, I fully can be who I am. It made me realise that I hadn't been still being fully, if that makes sense. But it's not about that being because of someone else. I was still trying to blend in and conform. And then I'm walking to my space now, I'm like, this is who I am. This is exactly who I am, and that is it. So yeah, to a degree, I was still, I don't want to say pretending because I've never been false with people, but I was still trying to be liked, I would say is the right term.
Just a mask, a cheeky mask.
Yeah. Now I'm like, bring it on. Whatever. I've realised that no matter what happens, like, there is always a way out. So my brother said to me, I don't know if you've pulled yourself back from this. He said, I couldn't, it just sent me under. And realising that, a few years ago, I would never have clawed my way back from this. And I have, like, with a vengeance as well. Like, it's not just a little bit, it's like a full, I don't even know, 360 and more of where I was.
I just love the realness about you, mate. It's just
Thank you.
so real. Like,
I get so many messages and it, like, just saying, like, so, like, I love how real you are, and I say this all the time, like, I've actually...
That's why people want you, mate, as part of their group. There's a magnetism about you, this power about you. I'm like, fucking I'm like... If I get Kim, I'm going to get more business if I have Kim. Because, like, she'll bring that people
I get
want,
that.
you know.
Yeah, I never used to be able to take a compliment either, so I would have been like, if someone had said something to me, but now I'm starting to realise, like...
I love compliments.
Oh, God,
Just
I
like,
used to be
bring them
terrible.
on.
I'd be like, trying to just divert the conversation, but now, I think the biggest compliment you can have is on who you are as a person, and I embrace that, and I'm like, yes, people see under, whatever I might be, people like me for who I am, and that's it. Like, I joke with the ladies on my training all the time, so like, how do you get like business and you go on social media? I'm like, look, Like today I've straightened my hair. Normally my hair is up on my head and I'll go on social media like that. I'll turn up wherever I am like that because...
You look pretty good today, to be honest,
thank
don't you?
you. If I had to, normally I'm just in like my trackies or whatever, like my gym stuff.
Sweating your back off.
Yeah,
Red.
like I've just come back from gym normally, but if I had to be ready every time I went on social media, you'd never see me because that isn't my real life. I'm not sat at home like all my hair. I'm sat at home like working from my desk, like not my desk even. I'm trying to make myself sound posh on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Like hair up, like sometimes I'm doing Zooms in pyjamas that don't look like pyjamas, it looks like a top. But if I waited to look like pristine to turn up on social media, no one would ever see me. But like I didn't exist. And that again is selling people a false narrative. Like if you were to see me like this, I mean I don't mean. Yeah. And then you come on a Zoom and I'm like, all right, they're going to be like, who the hell is this? This is a totally different person. Like I have to be fully aligned all the time. Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah. And then you can never be embarrassed, can you?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying that I find loads of ways to embarrass myself. Yeah, but I tend to say with them like now, I say things randomly and I'm like, oh my God, just had a real, I carried a watermelon.
But that's all part of you though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's part of the brand.
Yeah, like I'm going to tell you something now, which I wasn't going to share. So I dyed my hair last night.
For the podcast?
Yeah, just for the opening for the podcast. My hair was like grey and ginger, so I thought I need to dye my hair.
Grey and ginger?
Yeah, so where the... It wasn't actually. It was like where the dye was wearing off, so it had gone like lighter, and I'm going really grey like all here, so I thought I need to shove a hair dye on. Yeah. Anyway, and my friend this morning messaged me, because I messaged last night, I was like, I've dyed my ears brown, I've dyed my neck brown, and then I was like, I've dyed my finger brown. Right? She's like, this morning, she messaged me saying, good luck, blah, 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 like, she's like, is your finger still brown? And I was like, yeah. She was like, get some bleach on it. I said, well, no. I said, you know why? I said, because if there's a moment where I feel like, oh, God, I don't know what to say, I'll say, do you want to see my brown finger? And it breaks up. Do you know what I mean, though? It breaks up.
Why would you
Look
ever
at it.
Yeah, but why would you ever want to pull the brown finger out?
I know.
At what point would you say?
Is me.
Right.
That's hair dye. So that
Do
is
you
me.
want to see my brown finger?
No, I wouldn't actually.
At some point in the podcast, feeling awkward, do you want to see my brown
well,
finger?
my plan wasn't to say it here. Say it was at the studio. But,
right.
Or say someone saw it. But I'm like, why would I then get the bleach and be like, oh, get this off? Last night, my finger got dyed brown by hair dye, so yeah, I've got brown fingers. She sent me a video of E.T. I was like, yeah, I'll start hypnotising people. But it's just who I am. Like last night, I like to make, my ears are brown, my fingers brown, all down my neck's brown. But there would have been a time where I'd be like, I can't go. I can't do it now. But I'm like, fucking hell, like, what does it matter? Yeah, that's just...
You made half of that, though, because you put a shirt on with the jewellery on and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I do normally get dressed.
Right, it's just every time I've seen you, got a
because
red
I'm usually...
face, you red up, looking...
Yeah, because I'm...
Is everything all right?
Because normally I've been to the gym or I'm going to the gym, so I'm like
she's really embracing herself here. She really don't give a shit. I'm like, you can at least stop sweating before you come in, sweetheart.
Honestly, I'm bad. I go wherever I go, like if I'm going out, I either have two looks. Like I look like I've just come out of the gym or I'm like live on the streets or I'm going out. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no in between. Yeah. There's no like, oh yeah, you just. But now, I went up to see Sammy at Village Boutique.
Kicked you out?
Tim, you won't believe how many clothes I have. Like, I go, every time Sammy's on, I'm like, same with them, I go, oh, my wardrobe is full. Because every time I go out somewhere, I buy something new. But then I don't go out that much. And then I'll buy, so I've had to buy a new wardrobe just for new stuff. But now I'm in the studio every day, I'll be dressed every day. Like I used to when I was a manager of a nursery. So every day I had to get up, be ready. Every night I would go and buy something new to wear. It was like weird. So then when I stopped doing that and I was working from home, then I just didn't really bother. But now I'm starting to really come back into who I used to be. So this is now how I will normally be unless I've been at the gym. Do you know what I mean?
So what about the tramp status? Are you getting rid of that one? Because you said you look like you're homeless. Did I say tramp? Maybe homeless. So you said your 3 looks are gym, homeless, and then
gym and homeless are the same, really.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, like I'm not one of these who goes to the gym with makeup on because I
sweat.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like my PT is amazing, and
what's he called?
Aaron Rogers.
Shout out to Aaron.
Aaron Rogers, yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah. I've seen some of your training stuff, mate, on your Instagram. It looks really good.
Yeah,
looks
like
a really good place. What is it?
It's in his house, so it's in like.
Oh, is it?
It's
it looks
like
really
like
smart.
a container at the bottom. Yeah. But he's so he's like uber professional in the sense of like you have to send your diary every week. If you don't send your diary, you've not got your steps in, you can't go the week after.
Like
he's super disciplined, but he walks his talk. Like he will, if you follow him, you'll see he's always doing like workouts and stuff like that. He's not one of these who just talks about it.
So I'm gonna follow him after this.
Honestly, he's amazing. So what he has done for my son is phenomenal. Like Archie had put on a lot of weight, like because he wasn't going to school and I was depressed. He was like, he'd always been a bit bigger, Archie. And when I look, he'll kill me for saying this, but when I worked at the nursery, he came to the nursery as well, but you weren't allowed to be around your own kids, so you weren't allowed to see him. But he knew I was there, so he would cry for me because he'd see me. So they always gave him food.
Right.
To keep him quiet. So then he...
Emotional eating.
Yeah. Right. Whereas when he started training with Aaron, so we've tried... Over the years, he's done boxing. He's a great little boxer, I'm telling you. If he's got a punch and a half. He's done go-karting because Mick was into F1. We've tried everything, but he just didn't enjoy any of them. And we went to another gym, but he didn't like that. And then we started him with Aaron, and he's obsessed. Like he's lost over 3 stone. Like he's absolutely obsessed with it, and the respect that he has for Aaron because Aaron's no bullshit. And he's.
Everybody needs an Aaron.
Don't they? 100%. Like I can't even. When I went in, when what had happened, I'd been up all night nearly crying, and he hugged me at first, and I thought, oh God, don't you hug me because I really will cry. Then I'm on the treadmill, and he's like, are you gonna stop? I was like, what do you mean? Are you gonna stop what you're doing? I was like, no. He was like, stop fucking crying then.
Come on.
And I was like, so there has to be an element of both. Like I'm really in touch with my feelings and I will cry if I need to cry.
Yeah, but
if I was in there all the time, I'd never get anything done. And I was like, yeah, you're fucking right. And that's what I mean about the men in my life have been the ones who they've let me do what I needed to do, but they've also not fannied about and been like, oh, everything will be fine. They've given me the kick up the arse to be like, you fucking got this. Yeah. More than any of the women in my life who I thought were my biggest supporters. And yeah, I've had hundreds of messages today and none off the people who I would have thought were my friends. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? I don't even feel a way about that. I'm like, do you know what?
You gotta let it go, that.
Yeah, let it go. Like, I'm actually, look how many new connections I'm making with people who genuinely connect with me because they've seen me online or they've whatever. Like, I feel like today, that's why I wanted to do the podcast today. So when I got given this day and we were opening, I feel like today is the start of the rest of my life. I'm not looking like I'm homeless 24/7. People might not like me then, though.
Yeah.
I'll have to look a bit homeless like, sometimes.
Oh, what's going on? Who are you? Like, I always got used to the ginger and grey hair. No brown fingers.
Next time I'll come looking homeless, don't worry. But yeah, I think as well, I'd lost a lot of pride in myself.
Yeah.
I'd lost a lot of confidence.
Yeah, that pride in yourself's a big one, isn't it? But you can't look at yourself in the mirror.
Oh yeah, it gets stripped. Like when people sort of, when you lose yourself, it's about more than just mentally. Like physically I'd lost myself, but like the gym, like with Aaron and stuff, like the confidence I'm finding in myself in every aspect, which is why I know that what I'm doing is going to have such an impact, because we've got like the contrast therapy. I've got a woman coming in doing strength training for people who want to do that. we're covering every single aspect, and that is like, some people have an issue with the word holistic because it's floated around like a holistic area therapy, but it just means the whole. That's all it means, like the whole. So we're literally creating something where, you know, you've got conscious therapy places, and you've got like, I think we're really bridging the gap between being able to meet everything for everyone, and making sure you can come in my door crawling, you can come in on top of the world. I don't need you to be any way to come in. The only thing I need you to be is just open to seeing, being curious. I think that's my word of the year. Be curious to what it might do for you. Be curious to open up your world a little bit more. You might come, you might think never again, fine, but just be curious about it. Like, we're here once, aren't we? And I've decided I'm going to try as many different things as I can. Like, I'm terrified of heights, like really bad. So I'm thinking of going doing that thing, you know, in the lakes. Have you seen it? Like, it's like a wire over two. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to start to push myself out of my comfort zone, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because I don't want to look back and go, yeah, I didn't really do what I wanted to. And I've achieved that now with this, but then I've got other goals in life, as in live a full life. Not like Jack and Rose in Titanic, you know what I mean? But like, live a full life. Yeah.
Where can people, where can we send people? 1717.co.uk. Where else are we at?
So my Instagram. So I'm verified on Instagram, yeah? What do you think I'm going to say?
Go on.
I'm verified on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So to change your name, you have to re-verify yourself. Mm-hmm. I've lost my passport. Mm-hmm. So I can't change my name at the moment, so it's just Kim.
Why don't you just verify yourself?
I have, but they don't. You get a month. So right, basically, I unverified myself in June. So they said from the 3rd of July you won't be verified anymore.
Do you think people will be interested in this bit of information we're giving them right now?
No.
Should we just say it anyway?
What do you mean?
It's just like me and you having a conversation about getting unverified.
Basically, yes. So for now, they could find me just as Kim Willis 2.0, because I got locked out of Kim Willis 1. So Kim Willis 2.0.
I think you should just leave it as that. It's just trust the process.
But you will see on there.
So all these people in the world are trying to get verified, but you can't unverify yourself.
No, because you have to use your passport to say you're not who you are. And I've lost my passport when I verified myself. I don't know what I did with it after that. So
these are real world problems, these, aren't they?
But from the 3rd of August, I won't be verified.
Yeah. So basically, if you are still interested in going on one of Kim's breathwork courses after listening to the ramblings of a mad woman, it's Kim Willis 2.0.
That's where you'll find me. Yeah, till the 3rd of August it might change.
Oh my God.
I know.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branded with the best.